Welcome to Get to the Point with Miranda Burke. As you know, I'm the Senior Marketing Manager here at SNP and your host for today. In this episode, we will be discussing the when, why, and how to build a digital clean core to support SAP, S/4HANA, and beyond. With me today is our featured guest, Dr. Steele Arbeeny, who is our Global Chief Technology Officer. All right, Steele, let's dive into it. What is the clean core?
Hi, Miranda, and thank you for that great intro. You know, over many years of using SAP, we've had the opportunity at SNP to scan thousands of systems. And inevitably, every time we scan one of these systems, we see literally thousands of unused customizations. That could be custom programs, reports, data, tables, and so on. And this creates a lot of problems. So with Clean Core, it starts with a fit to standard, meaning we want to use as much of the SAP standard functionality as possible. And any of that custom objects, programs, reports, data, etc., can be decoupled from the ERP platform, meaning potentially moved out to leverage some other technology or in an adjacent system somehow, so that it's not tied so closely to ERP. We want to keep them outside the digital core so that they don't influence the ERP lifecycle, meaning upgrades, modernization, cloudification, and so on are not impacted by all that other stuff that is not standard inside the core. So in summary, Clean Core just means bring us closer and closer to standard in terms of programs, data, and overall simplification and standardization of our ERP core.
So why do organizations need a clean core? Why?
Well, there's a great many reasons why it's beneficial. One is these organizations are very, very expensive to maintain and support. And the expertise that you need to find to do that is becoming more and more rarefied. They're harder and harder to find the people with the expertise to maintain some of this older, legacy, very highly customized things. That's one thing. Another very important reason why we need the clean core is that coupling of your customization with the standard, that dependency they have on each other, greatly impacts your testing time. Meaning there may be areas of functionality that you don't think are impacted between the two, that you think they're unrelated, but they may not be. They may be leveraging pieces of each other. And you don't realize that until, you know, it's too late and it impacts a project or impacts the business. So what does that require you to do? Much deeper, much fuller testing that, as everybody knows, is typically the longest and most expensive leg on an ERP project. So these customizations also greatly impact your testing cycle. Another reason why we need it is because all these dependencies impact our ability to adopt new technology, both inside and outside of the core. For example, in your opening title, you mentioned S/4HANA. The more of that legacy baggage you have in your older systems, be them SAP or not, is going to make the transition to S4 that much more difficult, both on the testing side, the maintenance side, and even just converting it to be compatible with the new system. Now, and outside as well, perhaps you want to use best of breed technology or take advantage of what Gartner is talking about now, composable ERP, where we're free to adapt some industry best solutions, maybe Salesforce for CRM, where we need that, or external analytics, where we would need that, to make a best of breed enterprise software solution. The more we're carrying that customizations along in our core, makes that adoption of new technology, cloud enabled or on-prem, that much more difficult. And finally, it's going to slow our adoption of S/4HANA. I touched on it a little before, but much of the features that you may have customized in the past might be largely already implemented for you now in S/4HANA. So in SAP's own documentation and own upgrade planning guides, they're instructing us that they will be, keeping S4 in a 5-year support cycle window, meaning that at the end of a 5-year period, the older versions will become desupported, meaning that you're always operating in that 5-year window, which means you're on basically a constant or very frequent upgrade cycle. And if that is very costly and very disruptive because of customizations, cloud dependencies, the long testing cycle, all of those things I've said, it's going to make you that much harder to keep up with the advances in the platform and really get the benefit out of all the spend we invested in S/4HANA to begin with. So in summary, a couple of other things it gives us, by the way, is faster cycles, faster upgrade cycles, faster M&A as well. If I don't have all of that customization in there to bring in new businesses or spin out old ones, are that much faster. I can even then build, a predefined merge playbook, M&A playbook that can run very quickly because it's all standard. The faster upgrade cycles we mentioned, the quicker adoption of innovation, the cloud readiness, and the ability to take advantage of more advanced dashboarding, reporting, analytics that are both built into S/4HANA. You're not going to be aware of your customizations, and the third-party things we want to take advantage of in, cloud and next-gen ERP.
So how do they do it? How is this achievable?
Oh, it's a good question. And remember, it's in many cases more of a journey than a destination. One of the first, objections or questions we hear is that a customer may be very far away from an S/4HANA project and believes it may not be optimal to start a clean core initiative right away. I advise them of the opposite, because since it's more of a journey, you can start cleaning out your current system, be it ECC or whatever you happen to be on now. Fit that to standard. Get rid of the unused stuff, right? As I mentioned earlier, we scan thousands of systems and we see systems with 20,000 customizations, of which 10% are being used. Why is that even still there? Let's get that out of there now. So the cycle to do that is kind of this analyze, transform loop that we want to keep going through. We want to look at what we have, understand how we're using it or not, and execute some kind of transformation to rationalize it out. Maybe it's on the data side, maybe it's on the program side. And that's another point I wanted to mention. Many other parties might think of clean core only meaning your custom programs, for example, but it's a lot more than that, right? It's the data as well. It's that custom data, the appended data to your standard tables, as well as the custom tables. If that's all unused, it's going to corrupt your analytics, and it's best to just get that out of there. And at SNP, we can look at the programs as well as the data to, number one, identify what's being used or not, find the best way to merge it, harmonize it, and transform it in such a way that maybe you can move it out of SAP or get it out of the landscape entirely, so that you can start gaining the efficiency from that now. It's not something you want to do sometime after you get to S4. You just make that journey so much more difficult and then have to reverse everything afterwards. And so that, even if your move is years off, you could benefit from the reduced TCO now. So it's important to think about that analyze, transform cycle that we can run several times to converge towards a cleaner and cleaner core in each cycle. So along that journey we've been talking about, there's many things we can achieve in that analyze, transform cycle. A simple one, kind of low-hanging fruit, is archiving of unused data. And, you know, it's always a difficult discussion to have with your business users about archiving data. Oh, because maybe they need it at some point later for reporting or analytics or even compliance type reasons. An interesting solution SNP has for that is outboard and data tiering. We can bring that data out of core ERP in nearline storage, which you can still access it very easily, either through reporting or even through the SAP interface if you needed to. So it's out of the system, but yet it's still readily available. Another thing you can achieve in that analyze, transform cycle is the merging of systems. Now, this is a great benefit that can be realized here because, you know, if data is in separate systems, if businesses are running in separate ERP systems, then you can't have that holistic view of, say, procurement across the entire enterprise because there's a piece in every system, which means one of the main reasons you're buying S/4HANA is to take advantage of the advanced analytics that are built in. But if the data is not in the system, none of that analytics is going to work properly. So you're sabotaging the value that you bought into the platform for in the first place. So let's get those systems merged. Let's get them on a single master data structure, a single chart of accounts, standardize the reporting. That'll make your life so much easier when you get to S/4HANA. Maybe there's data that can be completely eliminated. Maybe businesses we've divested years ago, but never really eliminated them from the system. We can get rid of all of that. Additionally, finally, maybe move to the cloud as well, right? We can take those systems, cloudify them, so that now when you're ready for your S4 transformation, you're already in the cloud. You can move to a target in the cloud. The working sandboxes and landscapes you're going to need during the upgrade process can all be spun up and spun down quickly and cheaply in the cloud on demand. So that simplifies the hardware investment you're going to need during the modernization process. And once you're there, you take advantage of all the power of the cloud, scalability, elasticity, capacity on demand, and you're only one click away, one reboot away from scaling up or scaling down, which you never get in the on-prem world. So the benefit of using SNP technology for this type of clean core initiative is that every one of those milestones along that roadmap, from the analysis, the archiving, the merging of systems, the data carving, as well as the cloudification with downtime minimization, can all be achieved in a software automated approach, meaning that you can take advantage of the acceleration and knowledge that SNP has invested in over 25 years and 14,000 successful projects, which we have pre-built into our software. You can realize those benefits on your projects as well. So with that, we invite you to contact us and learn more about our initiatives and how we can take you through that cycle and each one of those milestones on that clean core journey.
Exactly. If you're interested in continuing the conversation, please fill out the form that is on this page and an expert will be in touch. Appreciate your time today, Steele.
Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you.